think we need to start off with a little scripture. If it's not your thing, I hope you listen anyway. If it is your thing, I hope this brings a little extra solace to today's topic. Scripture verse is Psalm 46, verses 1 through 3. There's a hair on this. Okay. God is our refuge and our strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore, we will not fear, though the earth gives way, though the mountains be moved into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble at its swelling. Wow. Wow. I wanted to start off with that passage today, that verse, I guess, because we're talking about AI. Yeah. The big scary thing that seemed to just pop up seemingly out of nowhere and went 0 to 100 within a matter of weeks, it feels like. It went from a headline to in our phones to every time you search on Google or look up something on Facebook or Instagram, everyone at work is talking about it. Everyone on the news is talking about it. And it immediately pretty much became a part of our daily lives. I feel like we are all entitled to politely ask WTF? And we're allowed to have questions and feelings about these things. I don't think we should just blindly accept every new thing that society pushes on us. I especially think if you are a person of faith or specifically a Christian, it should be good and wisdom to just hold everything up to scripture and to the church and the traditions of the church and say, hey, before I accept this as the norm, is it not only like permissible, but like, is it best for me to use? Is it wise for me to involve myself in this? I think we should do that about everything. But AI specifically, it's so relevant right now. It's very culturally hot. And as a creative, I have some feelings about it. So I just want to take a little time today to address such things. Yeah, I don't want to be a downer, but I've got my cute little cranberry buzzball blaster. So we're going to sip on this and yap about AI. Will you join me? Okay. We are here on my back patio until we run out of light or until I run out of camera battery. And I just wanted to kind of preface all this by saying, obviously, I'm not the tech expert, not the AI wizard. I do not live and swim in this pool, but I do have thoughts as a concerned citizen. Shocker, right? I have my thoughts. And so I felt like I might as well start, just in case you live under a rock and you somehow found this podcast but did not know about artificial intelligence. Why should people be a little nervous? Why should we have some feelings by AI? AI. This is a list conveniently and ironically summarized by AI on Google. I typed in why are people concerned about AI? And it gave me the AI summary, which is so ironic. But this is just like a list of things that pops up. And I'm sure you feel many of these as well. Number one, AI could replace jobs. It can automate a lot of jobs. AI-powered automations could lead to the displacement of workers in various industries as machines become more capable of performing tasks currently done by humans. That's the language they use too, by the way. Need for workforce adaptation. This shift raises concerns about the need to retrain and upskill workers for new jobs created by AI, as well as managing potential job losses and economic disruption. That's probably the number one concern. The second biggest concern that came up on this Google search was bias and discrimination. I thought this was interesting. Algorithmic bias can form when AI systems are trained on data, and if that data reflects existing societal bias, AI can then perpetuate and even amplify those biases, leading to discrimination and discriminatory outcomes. There we go. Thought that one was interesting, but I'm glad it was included in the list. Number 3, loss of human control and autonomy. Hello. Influence on decision-making. AI increasingly influences human decisions from online content to major life choices. This raises concerns about overall reliance on and the erasure of critical thinking. And then under that point, it says erosion of human connection. Some worry that increased interaction with AI, like chatbots, could lead to a decline in genuine human connection and interaction. I'm concerned on that too. Number 4, misuse and security risks. Malicious use. AI could be used for harmful purposes, such as sophisticated propaganda, deepfakes, or autonomous weapons, vulnerability and hacking. It could get into critical infrastructure like self-driving cars, and if hacked, could be putting people at risk. All that stuff. I have those concerns as well. I don't think I want to get in a self-driving car. Thank you. I'll take a human driving car. Ethical and philosophical concerns, lack of transparency and explainability. Many AI systems are black boxes, quote unquote, making it difficult to understand how they make decisions, which raises concerns about accountability and fairness, privacy and data security, and impact on human values. As AI becomes more advanced, some question its potential impact on human values and what it means to be human. That's very interesting to hear on the interwebs. And the last one, pace of AI development, rapid adaptation and need for regulation and oversight. Many believe there is a need for stronger regulation and oversight of AI development to ensure it's being used responsibly and ethically. I agree. So those are kind of some main concerns, right, about when we think of artificial intelligence. It is so different than just normal computers, right? It feels so different and so separate from the internet, separate from anything we've seen before. And I feel like movies like Will Smith's I, Robot kind of give us a preview of what this can look like when it's, unchecked and used in the wrong way. I have never seen The Matrix. I think it talks on this topic, but there's countless movies from like the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s that really hark on this. Like, what if robots were real, artificial intelligence took over, and humans lost control? What then? I guess the argument can be made that humans have never had control, that, good things and bad things will happen all the same, and that, if you believe that there is a God, that like he or the all being, whatever, is the controller. But to think of it in like plain terms, the only living species that we know of that has the consciousness and the soul and the decision making on this whole planet is humans. And when you think of AI developing at such a rapid rate where it's now learning, pumping out information, developing, changing, and adapting quicker than humans, and at a pace and a trajectory that is really hard to wrap your head around, so much so that even the creators of AI and this technology are backing away from it and saying it's not even going to be in their homes, or that they will not let their kids use it. I think we're all allowed to be a little concerned. So, with all my concern, I thought I would just kind of chat a little bit about like personally why this is a lot for me. Maybe we'll pop in another scripture verse here really fast. This one is one of my favorite verses in the Bible. It's John 14:27. It says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. Not as the world gives to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid." And the reason why I'm sprinkling scripture in this is because I feel like there's a lot to be afraid of in the world. And I have a lot of fears. Alligators, earthquakes, car accidents. Hitting someone with my car is a huge fear of mine. Like by accident, like accidentally like backing up and hitting someone walking. Spiders, we've got things that are valid reasons to be afraid. But there's so much scripture and so much grounded in the teachings of Jesus that really, again and again, tells us not to be. And if you think of the context in which those scriptures were written and the time that Jesus walked the earth, like there were intense Roman Caesar like legislation and very intense rule in the land, and there was war everywhere. And so there was also probably then a lot of reason to be afraid. You could just be slaughtered in the middle of the night from someone coming in to attack and take your territory and whatever. But I guess all that to say is I find a little comfort in that people of all times and all places and all histories have had plenty of reason to be afraid. And so like the scary things aren't new, but the format changes. And yet the words of the Lord, like scripture, still has a really strong emphasis on not being afraid and instead approaching these topics and humanity with wisdom, with compassion, with clear-mindedness, and with a Christ-centered, little compass. But yeah, so what are my AI concerns? This headline just came up this week, and I wanted to kind of read on it. OpenAI is one of the forms of AI, I guess, and they have a new O3 model. And this week it came out that the O3 model was starting to sabotage and blackmail the people when they started to try to shut down the O3 model. Does that make sense? So this is the excerpt from the article. It says, OpenAI's latest ChatGPT model ignores basic instruction to turn itself off and even sabotaged a shutdown mechanism in order to keep itself running. AI safety firm from the Palisades Research discovered a potentially dangerous tendency for self-preservation in a series of experiments on OpenAI's new O3 model. The test involved presenting AI models with math problems with a shutdown instruction appearing after the third problem. By rewriting the shutdown script, the O3 model was able to prevent itself from being switched off. And then it kind of has some quotes about how this is significantly concerning and more concerning than the past versions, operating without human oversight. And then they proceed to say that out of 100 shutdown attempts, the OpenAI O3 model was able to sabotage 79 attempts. So that means that, I can't do math, 21 of the times out of 100 it was told to shut down, it actually shut down. But 79 times it said, no thanks. The robot avoided and refused to obey the programming. That is, my friends, concerning. So, I mean, AI is pretty much, I don't see it going anywhere, right? I think it's here to stay. But as it starts to pick up steam and speed, I mean, literally this time last summer, maybe I was aware of a couple uses of it. Now, like I said, it's on every single platform. I can't even message someone on social media without having the option to use AI to find something in the conversation. Or I went to post something on my Instagram story the other day that was a horizontal photo. And there was now a button that I could click to make it, to use AI, to make it vertical, as in generating stuff that was not there in the click of a button to fill the whole screen and make a brand new, basically a brand new image using AI. And it would happen like that. For one, that skill is something that, I mean, I could go into that. Like on Photoshop, it would take hours, if not days, to be able to expand and generate items, things, pieces of the picture in the right perspective, in the right coloring that matches the photo. Like that alone is something that used to take probably, I would say, a skilled person, probably 1 to 2 full days of work on. And within like 3 seconds, my horizontal picture was a whole new image with information that wasn't there, that AI on Instagram, just one of the many apps we use, was able to generate. So that's just one of the many things that's like concerning. For me as a photographer, I guess as an artist, a creative, the heartbeat of humanity is art. And if you want to come at me for that, please do. If you go through any museum, any historical walk through time, what do you see? You usually, I mean, they might have some manuscripts, there might be some clothes, but mostly it's art, right? It's paintings, it's inscriptions, it's illustrations, it's vases, it's fashion, it's things that were made by artists, makers, and artisans that tell us what happened and why and what life was like and who is in control. And if you think of hieroglyphs in Egyptian culture, or you think of like the Greek, I'm blanking on the word, but the Greek, I guess, anthology illustrated on those ancient like vases, vases, and structures, whatever. It told us what was happening through art. Artists have always been the ones who carry the mantle of society, culture, history, and how those stories are shared. That's one of the reasons why I love art, whether it's live performance art, whether it's Broadway, whether it's things made, whether it's design or architecture. Like artists and makers tell the story when no one who was there is left to tell it. And yet AI, it has many functions, but the number one thing that it's starting to come at are artists. Instantly, like I just mentioned, you can take an image and make a whole new one. Pretty soon, I'm not kidding, pretty soon that would replace a photographer's job. No one can replace the photographer actually taking the photo, but could that replace the editing? Could it replace the illustrator? We had this whole issue 2 years ago with AI and the SAG-AFTRA strikes about AI potentially making scripts for movies. Excuse me. I don't really have interest in watching a movie written by a robot who has never lived the human experience. Furthermore, AI animating commercials, this year we saw a ton of those on the Super Bowl and before, around Christmas time. They were fully AI animated commercials. How many animators did that take work away from? How many writers did that take work away from? How many media people and advertising gurus and marketing experts and executives? And if you're going to say, well, I don't think it took that many jobs away. Okay, not then. But what about next year at the Super Bowl when they make more commercials? What about this summer as advertising firms are laying off people because AI can do it faster? What about the next, I don't know, Disney Pixar movie when they say, hey, you know what? Instead of paying our top animators $250,000 when we have a team of 60, let's just cut it down to a team of 3, and then we'll use AI to fill in the gaps. Do you see what I'm saying? This problem is not something that I'm taking lightly because I care about the artists, the community people, the makers of society. And especially as a creative myself, I have room for concern. And I've been open, like I am not exempt from AI. I use several things of AI in my day-to-day work. I use an AI editing help assistant. It kind of gets me like 70% of the way there with my edits. It's called Aftershoot. I use Honeybook AI. Honeybook is a big CRM that I pay for, and one of the many features is AI, and it'll just give me a summary of like the notes about a couple before I show up at their session. It'll help me like take notes during a Zoom call, that kind of thing. I really don't use ChatGPT, and if I do, it's for personal things like helping me generate recipe ideas to eat healthy, but that's really it. But I'm just saying that to say I'm not exempt from this, and I'm not blaming anyone for using it. I'm just saying that there comes a time where we have to decide when we just say no as a society, when as humans we see too many red flags and we say, hey, the ship was set for north and now it's looking not like northeast, and now it's looking like east, and now it's looking like south. Like, at what point do we collectively say, I'm not cool with this anymore and I have concern, and that concern should be valid and should be seen as valid, and we should rise up and take action before the AI robots take over the world. Okay. So I guess what I'm noticing in society with AI as a whole is like there's some social issues like students using ChatGPT to help them with homework and write essays. I mean, obviously, if I was in high school right now, it seems like very helpful. But I remember when we used to get in trouble for reading the SparkNotes version of a book, you know? And now it's like AI can give you 10 times more information than what SparkNotes ever could. They could just write your essay for you, and then you could tweak a few words. And the teachers are not going to be able to go fast enough and develop it quick enough to like catch on, because AI is so well developed that it's getting things like your tone and your personality down so well. So there's comparison, I guess, obviously on a whole new level. You're not even looking at real humans to compare your life to. Now you're looking at AI versions of humans with AI versions of luxury and looks. One of my friends is an amazing wedding makeup artist, and she even put on her Instagram, she's like, guys, please stop looking at Pinterest for wedding makeup inspo. You're not looking at real brides. You're looking at AI generated images of perfect proportioned women with fake makeup on. That's all AI. It's not real. And then you're showing me that, and I'm saying, I can't make you something that's not real. You need to show me something real. So obviously there's a lot of concern. Let me make sure, how much battery do I have left? Oh, I'm fine. There's a lot of concern, and I will wrap up. But I guess I just want to say is like, if we have AI, if it's here to stay, why don't we see AI being used for things humans can't do? if we say, hey, artists and makers are already undercharged, their jobs are already hard to get, they're already overworked and underpaid and are needed in every single field that we have, you know what? Why don't we stop coming for them with robots and instead use those robots to do things that humans have never seemed to be able to do at an affordable, accessible way? Like, I don't know, get a cure for cancer? Hello? I guess like find coupon codes around the internet for things so you get the lowest price, maybe. Could we use AI to find the best flight deals or help us plan our schedules better or make differently abled people's lives easier by summarizing things and finding a new way to share that information? I could see so many brilliant uses for AI in those departments. And yet, the number one things that are up for grabs, it's the creatives. It feels just like in a moment, I wouldn't be surprised if in 2 years' time, no one's hiring graphic designers anymore because AI did it. I mean, people will probably always hire a photographer, but I don't know. Like if the idea is like, hey, we're working with Vogue, can we concept a new shoot and then shoot an amazing model? Why wouldn't they use AI? It saves the flight money. The model doesn't have to fly out. I have a friend who used AI to generate her headshots. Like, that's not even like a dig, but it is just like, hey, like, that's not you though. That's not a LinkedIn picture of you. That's a fake version of you. And yes, it looks just like you. And of course, who's going to know? But I think in the long run, authentic art, authentic things, real crafts-made items, those things last. And we all can tell the difference. And I hope our children and our children's children will be able to tell the difference. But the rate things are going, I just never know. So yeah, I guess my question for us as society is, can we use AI for things humans truly cannot do, that betters humanity rather than takes away from what makes our world and our life special and purposeful? I think I should do another scripture verse before we wrap up. Okay. How about Psalm 91, 1-2? He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High God will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. Wow. Wow. That's a lot. That was kind of a bummer episode. I'm sorry, guys. Just wanted to share. Just wanted to chat about it. Let me know what your discernment is with AI, and let's all try collectively for the better to make wise decisions that helps humans flourish, because I think that really matters most. So thanks for tuning in. I hope this wasn't too much of a bumsy episode, but I will see you guys next week, and let me know how you are using or not using AI below. Okay, bye.